We were out in Wichita a couple of weeks ago. While we were out there, we had a chance to take a look at a number of projects, one of which was just such an attractive accoutrement to the Citation 10 series, the winglets. They're gorgeous.
The winglets have been a long time in development. As you know, Cessna kind of had a history of not wanting winglets on their airplanes for what reasons I'm not sure. But we worked long and hard to come up with winglet technologies, come up with the right winglet for the airplane. We're seeing performance benefits out of them. We haven't published any real numbers yet, but everybody that's flown flights on them have said that there's a lot there to be had with them, and we think it's going to be a big seller in the aftermarket for existing 10s. And who knows, when we announce our next version of the 10, yet to be determined, it probably will have winglets on it standard.
One of the other things that we're very excited to see, of course, is that R&D is an unmitigated process at Cessna. The CJ4 at this point is smoking along pretty nicely and due to make an appearance here, I guess, day after tomorrow?
It is. We're going to bring it in. It's on a tight flight test schedule to get it wrapped up this year, but we're bringing it in Tuesday night to have on display all day Wednesday at the static here at NBAA. And we think the customers will appreciate the sweep to the wing, gives it a pretty nice look to it. It's just another darn good looking CJ. And Jim, your point on R&D, we're still spending as a percentage of revenue higher than we have even in our past on R&D, even in these tough times. So we're trying to get a pipeline of new products coming following this recession, and I can't go fast enough, but my guys are trying to do all the right things so that we'll have a solid field of products going forward.
One of the things we're hearing an awful lot about is from the Mustang community. A lot of our friends who came up in the piston or light turbine world are now transitioning to the Mustang. And the reports from, I guess you said about 250 in the field now? 250
are in the field, and the reports have all been very consistent, which is it does everything that we said it would do. The fuel burns on it are nothing short of remarkable, and the maintenance on it's been minimal. So it's a really attractive value proposition. And it's safe, it's easy to fly. People transitioning from a TBM or any high-performance single is, I think, a piece of cake.
Well, there's a lot to be said for the entry-level turbine market right now, and obviously there's been a lot of activity in that area, and a lot of it's gone by the wayside. Is there more in the Mustang class to be seen from Cessna?
I think as the technology emerges, there is. I mean, I think we've got a good start, but it was dependent on getting the right engine and the right avionics system to be able to bring the price point down. And we keep pushing engine and system suppliers to push the envelope a little bit to see, is there something that could come out that's smaller? It needs to be priced under a Mustang, and certainly it's easy to grow it into the Citation family. But I'm hoping that we'll be able to do something to continue to come down market, which will help fill a gap that's needed to be filled.
One of my best friends up at St. Augustine, what would now be a Corvallis TT owner, and he's bragging he's about to get synthetic vision. So that's coming down the line for the Corvallis series?
It is. We certified it first on the Mustang, and then for the Corvallis it was to be a follow-on. We just, Garmin certifies it first, then we've got to certify it specifically to the aircraft application, and we're that close to having that done and ready for the Corvallis. I've flown it on the Mustang. I haven't flown it on the Corvallis, but it's very impressive technology, especially if you're flying in mountainous terrain and in low visibility weather.
And final question, there was some conversations this morning I had with Joe Lombardo, both this morning and a couple of weeks ago at the rollout of the G650, about whether or not this industry needs to be thinking about, rather than reactive to the bad press and the bad news, but start being proactive to the next slam dunk bad media story.
These cycles have come and gone before. If you talk to anybody that's been in the industry for a long time, we run through cycles of negative press. And I think we've all, as an industry, Joe and I are talk frequently as to saying it's time we just have an ongoing campaign and not quit making this a reactive campaign and get our message out there. And during good times, all it can do is help expand the use of business aviation. So yeah, you get complacent during the good times, and we need to rethink our strategy.
Aero-TV is brought to you by...
If you own a Cirrus today, or if you are considering the purchase of a new or used aircraft, consider this.
Avidyne, in conjunction with the country's leading Cirrus sales and maintenance facilities, has launched the G3R9 program that combines the purchase of a late-model, low-time Cirrus aircraft and the addition of the Avidyne Integra Release 9 avionics suite for much less than you may have thought, and certainly much less than purchasing a brand new aircraft. G3R9, combining the best airframe, best engine, and best avionics for the best value.